I wanted to talk a little bit about the Epstein stuff because the letter is crazy. Fucking ads, dude. All right.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. No one in my lifetime has been better than Donald Trump at changing the subject, dictating the news cycle, wiping things from our collective memory. Remember we bombed Iran like 2 weeks ago? Whatever else you can say about him, the man has always been extremely adept at getting the news coverage he wants, or at least about the topics he wants. That is not happening, though, right now. Right now, Donald Trump wants everybody to shut the hell up. In fact, just an hour or two ago, Donald Trump fired an Epstein prosecutor. That would be Maureen Comey, the daughter of former FBI director and Trump nemesis James Comey. Now, Trump could have a lot of reasons for disliking her, but as Politico noted today, Comey, who'd worked in the U.S. Attorney's Office for nearly a decade, prosecuted both Jeffrey Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay? So when Donald Trump's trying to bury the story right now, out of nowhere, in an unprecedented move, presidents don't fire career attorneys, he fired Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell's prosecutor. This is just one in a series of things Trump has done surrounding the Epstein story that have just been really weird. And so now we are seeing a revolt among the MAGA faithful, people who cheered when Trump staffed the Department of Justice and FBI with loyalists who vowed to release the Epstein files to the public. And they were devastated last week when Trump's administration closed the case and told everybody, turns out nothing to see here. And it even got weirder because when they announced the case was closed, they also released that raw video from Epstein's prison block the night he killed himself. And that footage, as people noted, appeared to be missing an entire minute. Well, guess it. Get this. According to a new Wired investigation published yesterday, that video is actually missing approximately 2 minutes and 53 seconds. So the whole thing's not going away. And Trump is so frustrated by the Epstein backlash from his own political reporters, he is now calling them stupid.
I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your attorney general told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen of that?
No, it's not the attorney general. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had, and all of the things we've done, including in the Middle East. I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about
like bombing Iran,
about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people.
By the way, is there anything more typical of the Trump era than a foreign leader sitting there as Trump rambles about Jeffrey Epstein? So that was Trump expanding on a wild social media post from early this morning, claiming that Democrats' new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters have bought into the BS hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 years. Donald Trump, the Republican president, calling Republicans stupid people and past supporters because they believe Trump's campaign promise to release the Epstein files. Surely he couldn't mean that. But he clarified, yes, he did.
Does that mean that you're effectively disowning any supporters who are now calling...
I lost a lot of faith in certain people, yeah. I lost because they got duped by the Democrats.
What? Telling people the case is closed isn't working, so he's defaulting to trying his old playbook where it's all Russia, 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 Comey, Obama hoax. Barack Obama created the Epstein files that he didn't show you, so why would you even want to see them? What could be in them? They're fabricated anyway and they don't exist. What's wrong with you? The thing is, it isn't really working.
If you talk about this, I'm going to excommunicate you. Well, you're not the Pope, bro.
Millions of Americans are not satisfied with what we've been told. And we shouldn't be, because it's been contradictory and insulting to our intelligence.
Matt Walsh got the fucking memo. Apparently, Ben Shapiro did not get the memo, and Charlie Kirk did not get the memo either. Because Charlie Kirk also went on an apology tour for, let me find it, for Epstein and for Donald Trump.
Every step of the way.
Trump should not be insulting and attacking the people who voted him in and supported him simply because they want answers on this notorious case of a high-profile individual.
Why'd they say there was thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible shit? Why'd they say that?
I can't reconcile this Donald Trump with the Trump that we're seeing right now, the Trump that is gaslighting the public right now, the Trump that I voted for across multiple elections. The Epstein scandal is definitely terminal cancer to Trump.
Dude, Candace Owens is such a good grifter. She's so good at like appealing to exactly what the majority of conservatives want all the time.
Trump's MAGA movement.
Today, Flynn practically begged Trump to change tactics and release more Epstein files. Quote, if there are elites inside of our country that committed crimes against children, shame on them, and they must be held accountable. Even Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson has, at least rhetorically, in his words, if not his actions, split from Trump on the Epstein case.
Well, because it's either you anger Trump and everything that comes with that, or you anger the entire Republican base and you take what comes with that. So you're kind of in like a lose-lose position. Then the only winning position is to say that like, we need to release the files. I don't know who's holding Trump captive, but we need to release the files. And unfortunately, again, people like Charlie Kirk didn't get the memo because he went on his show. Like yesterday, the polls are in. How do people feel about Trump after the latest Epstein chapter? And by the way, the comments are not good. He's gaslighting us and it makes him look hella guilty. You too, Charlie, 27-year-old man here. He's losing my support. He's on the list because he's making it out to be this young people issue. Let's watch, shall we? Come on, guys. You know how fun it is to be able to make fun of conservatives for falling in line and then it doesn't pan out for them? People on the left already know the joy of shitting on Democrats for bad strategy and then losing for bad strategy. To be able to do it to conservatives is like a whole new level of fun, a whole new level of joy.
I am not minimizing this. I am just the messenger here. I am simply the interlocutor. The young men and the Gen Z audience that I represent, they are flaming mad right now about this stuff. I've said that. They want action on this. Action, action, action. We say all this because we...
Making it out to be a young people issue is crazy. It's crazy. That's actually insane. That's wild. Also, B. Holtzman, thank you. And thank you again for the 9 months.
We want President Trump to be the most popular president in history. We are his greatest, most stalwart defender. Joining us now is Rich Barris. What is happening with the polling and the data around the Epstein situation?
I think it's in. Thanks, as always, Charlie, for having me on. I'm kind of en route from point A to point B, but I think it's important to repeat what you just said. It's not so much Epstein, the issue itself. It is a proxy issue, and I think that a lot of people have failed to understand it in that space where people see it as a way to hold a ruling class that has been getting away with everything, for years, accountable when they don't. So people have to first come to grips with that. It's not just, an issue that's been a partisan issue, Charlie. It's more like a ruling class versus we, the little guy, kind of an issue. So that's how people see it. Some of the president's most strongest supporters, and supporters, by the way, that he has been able to count on in the past, particularly in 24, that the Republican Party is not. So in the polling that we did just release, I think one of the biggest warning signs is the decline among 18 to 29-year-olds, that young voting group that we highlighted so much on your show going into 24, that Trump was running so far ahead with this group compared to, even to Republicans who marginally improved, right? They did improve, but it's not going to earn any votes. Honestly, the concern is from his more loyal base, and this is not being
He's like the most loyal MAGA. Okay, so Kyle Klinsky's also talked about this a lot, but basically because Trumpism is a giant, massive cult, and because being in like a MAGA group is just being a cult, that is just being in a cult, and he is effectively a cult leader. If you put it like the base of your cult, that you are going to target and you're going to go after the evil, corrupt Democrats that are causing child sex rings to go unpunished, and you need to drain the swamp, and this is what you've been running, and this is like the core foundational principle. Those people are willing to deal with anything. They'll stay forever. That like 20-30% of his supporters will stay there forever, so long as he stays true to the core principle, to the core foundation. But unfortunately, doing the whole, actually, there is no list. Well, actually, it's just the Democrats' list. It's just an evil Democrat list. That's why this is happening. No one actually cares about this. What do you think is going to happen? That like 20-30% of people that are super loyal to Trump will finally fall. What do you think the Wall Street Journal was smart enough to hold back some information just to counter Trump's "this is fake" counter? I mean, I don't know what information they would be holding back for their benefit. I'm pretty sure the more information that they release, the worse it looks for Trump, almost objectively.
Communicated correctly, and
Okay.
The Charlie Kirk Show is one of the best connected yet least insulated programs out there. Meaning that we're very well connected into the U.S. government with the administration and stuff with the president, but also we're in total touch with the grassroots. And I can tell you, the grassroots, the younger people especially, Gen Z, they are flaming mad this morning. Why are they flaming mad, Rich? And how does that manifest into the data?
Well, let me also say that I think that there is a lot of good
This is Marlboros, yes.
stuff that the president has to talk about. There's just a lot of frustration among these people that some of the mishaps or miscommunications, mishandling of these issues is overshadowing that stuff, Charlie. So, think about if you're running in your social circles and you're a younger person, you supported Donald Trump. You want to go out there and tout his successes, but you and the president obviously feels the same frustration. You constantly have to answer the criticisms of how certain things were done. It was not easy to support Donald Trump, Charlie. It's not.
It's not easy to support Donald Trump.
Right? And I think you know that.
Is he talking about average Americans, or is he talking about conservative pundits?
And every voter who is out there who voted for him, especially in these new emerging MAGA demographic groups, so young voters, Hispanic.
They didn't know, okay? They didn't know that he was a terrible person. They didn't know. Yes, there were articles out there about all this stuff, but you expect them to have read that? They can't read. Leave them alone.
Men, young black men, they're out on a limb there too. And so I think they're not being, they feel like they're not being heard or appreciated.
Let's play cut.
This is a crazy line. It's the young black men that care about the Epstein files. And one of the comments said, I'm 47. This is total BS gaslighting. Shame on you, Charlie. Trump thinks we're stupid and just to move on. Something stinks. It's not just Gen Z that's pissed. Don't minimize it because it's all ages. We grandmothers also want to know who did that, regardless of party or status or wealth or influence. We have daughters and granddaughters, and they should not be sidelined to protect a few. Oh, Charlie, dude. Oh, Charlie Kirk. But please, keep going. Keep defending. Keep defending him. Yeah. That'll play out really well.
I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there. And Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, they were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody.
That was just yesterday, though on the same day, Johnson and fellow Republicans blocked a Democratic proposal that would have forced the DOJ to publish its Epstein files online. But again, Trump can't stop
Which, by the way, is fucking crazy. That's crazy that the pro-lifers and the Protect Kids party was like, well, can we just block this? Can we block this? Can we just listen. I know everybody wants to hear more about this story and everyone wants the people at fault to be held responsible, but what if we, as the House Republicans, just don't do that? Don't do that. What if we did that? The House voted 211 to 210 against allowing a House vote on Representative Ro Khanna's measure to force the DOJ to publish the Epstein files online within 30 days. The child marriage party doesn't care about kids? What? The child labor law policy party doesn't care about kids? What? That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Nothing has made me more convinced. Literally nothing has made me more convinced of pedocon theory than this. I saw someone describe pedocon theory as a theory the same way that gravity is a theory, and I completely agree, wholeheartedly.
Talking about Epstein and posting about Epstein, even as he wishes everybody else would. As longtime political journalist Josh Marshall put it on social media, this stuff is seriously baffling. It's like someone went to Trump and said, dude, you have to convince everybody you are 100% guilty. Again, Trump has always been able to move on from a bad news cycle before.
What's pedocon theory? Just that, every single conservative that's accusing other people of being a pedophile and that they're the ones trying to go after the kids is a pedophile. which is a lot of conservatives. It's a lot.
Often by creating some new
It's
bad
just
news.
pedo-conservative, pedo-con. Pedophile, shortened to pedo. Conservative, shortened to con. I just call that projection. I mean, it's especially true with this
cycle, right? But now he really is losing control of his supporters. The only person on the right who seems really happy about it is Trump's former mega donor and co-president, world's richest man, Elon Musk. All summer, Musk has openly warred with Trump, including teasing the creation of a new third party, saying in a now deleted post that Trump was in the Epstein files. Today, Musk spent much of his time on social media stirring the Epstein pot, posting that
he should just release the files and point out which part is the hoax. Wow, amazing that Epstein killed himself while and Ghislaine, I don't care how it's pronounced. She's getting called Ghislaine for the rest of her life. I don't care, and you're not going to stop me. Is in federal prison for a hoax. We were all told that the list was going to be released. So many powerful people that wanted that list released, suppressed. Not a single Epstein client has been prosecuted. Not even one. If even a few of the very worst Epstein clients were to be prosecuted, that would be something. But zero?
So many powerful people want that list suppressed, and we were all told the list was going to be released, and that Trump should just release.
This may be copium, but do you think maybe someday an agent with nothing to lose will leak it? I mean, every generation has its own Edward Snowden, okay? I see no reason why there wouldn't be another whistleblower on this case.
The files and point out which part is the hoax. When the political betting site Polymarket posted its users believe there was a 100% chance Donald Trump was named in the Epstein files, Musk replied with a post of his own, quote, "That is a high level of confidence."
You know what was not on my fucking bingo board for 2025? Stephen King defending conservatives by saying the Epstein client list is real. So is the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. Yeah, I retweeted that one post. I was like, wait, what's that fuck? This one. Hold up, let me. Wait, did I not retweet it? I thought I did. Hold up. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, here. Teams have been auto-balanced. You are now on red. Dude. TF2 meme in 2025. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, everybody pointing out the epic rap battle on the Joker versus Pennywise.
Tell your author for his next gangbang scene, how about a little more PG and a lot less 13?
Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie. Epic rap battles has aged really well. Like, it's aged pretty well. And like almost nothing from that era has aged on YouTube well. I guess like Vsauce aged well. New Vsauce video dropped, I saw. Stop. No, it hasn't. Yes, it absolutely has. There was like peak epic rap battle moment. And then there was like, ew, it's cringe. Ew, 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 ew. And then people, I think, are now appreciating it again. They're like, you know what? They actually are not missing. They actually aren't missing. They are missing. Not to mention the fact that the meme format goes crazy. It goes crazy. I'm sorry. Objectively, when someone posts something crazy, like any Israeli account that's tweeting out anything pro IDF and then you hit the translate button and it's the most crazy Hitler shit you've ever seen in your life, it's always a banger to respond to that with the I am Adolf Hitler, commander of the Third Reich. Like that one, you can reply to it every single time and it always goes crazy. I can't believe he did that. Dude, that's crazy. They need to do another one with Satan Yahoo and Darth Vader. Also dope on the line. Oh my god. Jesus. It's crazy. People are weird about epic rap battles. It's pretty well done and it's fun. Also, as someone who loved it when I was growing up at the very beginning of like YouTube, this is the very beginning of YouTube, it was really high effort stuff for YouTube at the time. Like they were really some of the only people doing it like that. Putting in that much effort. And it's like, it's two theater dudes who've been interested in theater for like the longest time. And anyone who knows anything about theater or actors, the chance that you make it big in Hollywood or on Broadway is next to zero, right? So that you can put all of your theatrical effort into like doing these rap battles. And they actually, there's a lot of lines in them that hit hard that like are actually fire. Like this one. This is a crazy read on Stephen King. This one goes hard. Even if you like Stephen King books or Stephen King movies or stories or whatever. And they're actually like two cool dudes who just like really want to make theatrical work on the internet. And they've been doing it for a really long time. They've been surviving on Earth without real jobs and making art. What's cooler than that? Yeah. So, yeah. Anywho. All right. Next. Where were we? The Stephen King tweet was crazy, dude. That I don't even know. Like this is the craziest ratio I've ever seen. Also, 16,000 comments, 15,000 likes. I wish I could see how many of these were quote tweets, but it says 19K reposts, but I don't know how many of these are quote tweets. 68 million views. Oh my God, 68 million views and 15,000 likes is crazy work. Actually fucking crazy. Oh my God. To say nothing of it, they had some star pulling power. They had T-Pain, Snoop Dogg, Key and Peele show hosts over the years, including Schwarzenegger. Oh yeah, no. Well, I think that's like the thing that distinguishes, I think that's why a lot of people now have a warm spot. There's like a pendulum that swings on like cringe stuff on the internet. Let me pull it up. Where I feel like people first embrace the cringe. Here's like 100% cringe levels, right? Or actually, yeah, no, this is 100% cringe levels. This is over time. This is people's perception over time. And people are like happy at this amount. And then eventually a bunch of new people come in and they're like, ew, that's so cringe. Oh my God, it's two adults that are being cringe and rapping. But then once you become so afraid of any genuine art or like people genuinely making stuff that they want to make, you just get a bunch of slop like Mr. Beast. And then people are like, actually, you know what? I actually really like the cringe. The cringe was good. At least it was like free. At least they were making stuff that they wanted to make and they really tried with it, right? A cringe Overton window, yeah. 17,000, almost 18,000 quote tweets on the, oh my God. Oh my God. Stephen King, please. Stephen King. Oh, dude. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Also, really quickly, I want you guys to know this is what we're watching on Sunday. We're starting stream early on Sunday just to watch this, by the way. Mehdi Hassan got on Jubilee against 20 far-right conservatives.
My family lineage is settlers from the 1500s. So
you don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about?
You're a little bit more than a far-right Republican. Hey, what can I say? I think you can say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
My first claim is Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal. Donald Trump is defying the Constitution. Immigrants, overall, are good for America. Donald Trump's plan for Gaza is ethnic cleansing. I'm Mehdi Hassan. I'm a journalist. I'm the editor of Zeteo. And today I'm surrounded by 20 far-right conservatives.
Oh my God. This is going to be so good, guys. Mark your fucking calendars, chat. Sunday. Sunday. We're watching this because it's going to fucking bang. It's actually going to fucking bang.
May every...
No. This might kill me, Denims. Okay, I'm sorry, you're right. It might kill you. But it'll give me life, so we're doing it. How early will you start? 6 a.m.? Who knows? We'll start early. Okay? I'll wake up at fucking 5 a.m. just to make sure we start on time. Okay? Denims, would you do a Jubilee? Oh, yeah. You kidding me? That'd be so much fun. That'd be hilarious. Okay. Do I want to do the ICE story? I want to finish the Epstein story first. And then I think we'll do ICE.
Sunday. At the Denim, watch Mehdi Hassan battle 20 racist assholes. Be there. Kids are free.
Absolutely not. Kids are not allowed, okay? Come on. There will be daycare available, but they are not allowed into the premise, okay? I'm not dealing with babies screaming. No, you can put them in the nearby daycare center, all right? But no. Who would you do a 20v1 dating episode with? What is it? What is a 20v1 dating episode with? What is that? A friend did invite me to go on one of these dating show things, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I will. Maybe it'd be fun. Maybe it'd be funny. You guys can see me fail to Riz. I'm already cringe as it is, you know?
Reporting on a birthday letter that Donald Trump sent Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday. Ghislaine Maxwell collected that and other letters for a 2003 birthday album. Here's how the Journal describes the letter Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein. Quote, the letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. In an interview with the Journal, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing that picture. He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article.
The FBI also declined to comment. Vaughn, do you have anything from the White House on this yet?
No, not yet. And it should be assumed that not only did this Department of Justice, but also the Biden Department of Justice had these contents here. I think that this is the important context, is that in so many reasons, it has been clear that there are still Epstein files that have been redacted for the sake of victims' names, for instance. There are other files that...
And just redact the victim names. Like, I don't know why they've tried to run this strategy when in reality it's not. It's no. Like, come on.
And that has not kept others from arguing that even the mentioning of names.
You're totally right, Scarlett. Yes.
Potential clients, right, should be revealed. Information like this that the Wall Street Journal clearly made the decision that it was worth reporting out at a time that the president has vehemently denied having close friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly, the Wall Street Journal making the decision with their reporting that this was a valuable information at a time that the president has denied. The president suggesting in the phone conversation with the Wall Street Journal that he intended to sue them if they published in the Wall Street Journal here on this Thursday night, deciding to publish despite the threat from the president to sue them.
Angela, further to...
Also, like, what would you sue them for? Like, AI. This is an AI letter. Like,
Vaughn's...
Why did the letter matter? Trump has often denied knowledge of Epstein's activities. This letter would suggest otherwise and imply that he was actually a client of his. Yeah. Also, in, like, a crazy strategy that nobody was expecting that is almost certainly not going to pan out. This...
Trump is sinking deeper and deeper into... Well, as the world now knows, the breaking news of the night is that Donald Trump is sinking deeper and deeper into the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, with reporting from the Wall Street Journal tonight describing a birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein on the occasion of Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday. The Wall Street Journal says the letter bears Trump's name, and that letter's final line says, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Her was told directly by Caroline Leavitt and by President Trump that the letter was a fake, but Emma Tucker didn't want to hear that. Instead, they are going with a false, malicious, and defamatory story anyway. President Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Mr. Murdoch shortly. Donald Trump has issued an uncountable number of threats to sue people who he has then chosen not to sue. Rupert Murdoch has the power to stop the Wall Street Journal from publishing anything. Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal facing a lawsuit threat from Donald Trump and going forward with their reporting is a very strong statement by them in their own confidence in the Wall Street Journal's reporting. Before Donald Trump posted that on social media tonight, his vice president got out ahead of Donald Trump on social media and said something that Donald Trump refused to say in his own social media post. What J.D. Vance wrote tonight could be his first big move to become the next president of the United States without waiting for the next election. J.D. Vance used Donald Trump's new favorite form of public presidential profanity in J.D. Vance's best imitation of Donald Trump.
The dramatic writing is crazy. I'm being edged like crazy, dude. MSNBC really is changing up the strategy.
J.D. Vance wrote, "Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullcrap. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is the letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump?" And in another...
Dude, calling out the Wall Street Journal on their on what you believe is their bluff and saying, okay, then publish the letter. Do it. I just want to know. I want to be a fly in the wall where I get to watch Trump ream fucking JD Vance's ass on like, why are you saying that? Stop. Don't fucking hype them into do it. Don't triple dog dare them to do that. Stop. You're crazy. What the fuck?
Post, J.D. Vance wrote, "Doesn't it violate some rule of journalistic ethics to publish a letter like this without showing it to the victim of this hit piece?" The answer is no. It does not violate journalistic ethics. And the worst thing that can happen to Donald Trump is for the Wall Street Journal or anyone else to release publicly a copy of that letter. The worst thing that could happen to Donald Trump is exactly what his vice president, J.D. Vance, is demanding tonight. J.D. Vance, the person who would move up to the presidency if this issue becomes so difficult
that it drives Donald Trump out of the presidency through impeachment or resignation. We have seen this happen to a president before, and Donald Trump has never been weaker. And
What is this? LOL, MSNBC, zero credibility. I never understand these chatters or like these type of people, because it's like the MSNBC guy didn't even say anything. All he said was, look at this JD Vance tweet. The worst thing for Trump would be if they listened to JD Vance and released the letter, which is just true. Like there's nothing else that was even in that MSNBC clip for there to talk about. You know why all old white Karens are liberals? It's because they have standard cable and are brainwashed sheep like most of you with internet and streaming. You guys should be very self-aware, yet not just sheep. What are you talking about? What? The people that are watching nothing but cable are absolutely, totally brainwashed by Fox News. Okay? Old white ladies are overwhelmingly Republican. Oh my God, dude. Brutal stuff. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Okay, guys. I am getting word. I'm getting word. Also, Dennis barely watches MSNBC. Yeah. It's pathetic. It's so pathetic. Sorry, really quickly. On a side note, I meant to respond to this. I'm clearing out my tabs. My radfem ex who broke up with me saw me follow your Insta and called you a hypocrite for being a leftist with an OF. I dodged a bullet. Oh my God. Can you imagine being anti-sex work and then being like, I'm the real leftist, by the way? That's crazy work, dude. That's crazy. Good God. I don't. Anywho. All right, moving on. Have holes in their brain? Yeah, for real. I want to talk about this story really quickly first before we get into anything else, because it's a short story.
Mr. Speaker, as the House considers the defense appropriation bill today that costs the American people $831 billion, it's important to talk about that this is the funding for our great men and women serving in our military and our nation's defense. The Department of Defense's mission statement is to deter war and ensure our nation's security. And that is worthy of the American people's hard-earned tax dollars. However, the American people are $37 trillion in debt. So this is money that is...
Well, no, but keep going.
...being spent that they...
I didn't even notice the horses on her shirt. Oh, no.
...already don't have.
No. She's just really into the horse racing game, okay?
Amendment would strike $500 million in funding for nuclear-armed Israel's missile defense system. And it's important to phrase it that way. Israel is a nuclear-armed nation, which is very capable of defending themselves, and they have been proving that so as we've watched on the world stage. The U.S. already provides Israel with $3.8 billion annually in foreign aid. $3.8 billion, that's a lot of money. Additionally, the April 2024 security supplemental included $8.7 billion for Israel. That is nuclear.
Sorry. Marjorie, Petty Derby.
Armed Israel. And during the recent 12-day war, the U.S. used 15 to 20% of our terminal high altitude.
I'm currently playing the horse racing game while watching, and now I'm logging off. That ruined it for me. Sorry. I did watch the anime, Cinderella Grey. That was pretty good. It wasn't bad. The pacing is like so fast in that anime. It was like, that was the fastest paced anime I've seen maybe in my whole life. That was crazy. There was a new race every single episode.
Area defense missiles, stockpiles, defending nuclear-armed Israel, which cost us over $800 million. The $500 million provided in this bill will fund Israel's, that is nuclear-armed Israel's, missile defense system, the Iron Dome, David Sling, Arrow system. Yet Israel is a nuclear-armed nation. That's a pretty big deterrent for any of their enemies. Any nation that has a nuclear bomb has the greatest threat against their enemies. U.S. aid typically accounts for 15 to 20% of Israel's defense budget, even though Israel, nuclear-armed Israel, has universal health care for their citizens and subsidized college for their citizens. They're able to provide that. However, here in America, we're $37 trillion in debt. My amendment to strike $500 million in foreign aid will ensure an America First Department of Defense, and that is exactly what we need and we haven't had for a very long time. Mr. Speaker, I reserve.
Gentlelady reserves.
Amendment 114 to H.R. 580, offered by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, would cut $500 million from Israel's missile defense. Quote, Israel is a nuclear-armed nation. They can defend themselves. They have universal health care and subsidized college. Meanwhile, Americans are $37 trillion in debt. The House just voted on an amendment to cut funding for Israeli cooperative programs, and it failed 6 to 422. Heartbreaking, worst horse girl you know just makes a great point. Yeah. Is she Fettermaning from the right? No, I mean, like, it's crazy, but she's kind of always been consistent about these positions. Like, she's always been consistent about the Epstein pedophile ring freaks, and she's always been consistent about being actually anti-war when it comes to the Middle East, because she's actually not bought out by the rest of corporate America. She's just like a conspiracy theorist. She's just like in it for the love of the game. Like, she believes everything that she says. Everything. To be clear, she's also an anti-Semite. Yeah, obviously. I mean, she believes in the Jewish space laser shit. And she's also Islamophobic. She literally said Ilhan Omar can't have been sworn in because she used a Quran. And she's bringing Sharia law, right? Like, to be clear, she's a terrible person. But she believes everything she says, okay? She's fully bought into every single... She is a full-blown Alex Jones conspiracy theorist. Earnestly a terrible person rather than a grifter. She just happens to be correct about giving Israel less funding. Or at least giving the funding with stipulations. She wants war where it belongs in North America with Mexico, correct. I've always believed she's a lot of insane things, but not a liar, correct. Why are conservatives so scary looking? I don't know. Only 6 voted yes. Estrange makes Marjorie Taylor Greene, Massey, Al Green, Summerlee, Omar, and Tlaib. Great. Excellent. Good stuff. Anti-Semitic or not, she wants to defund Israel so long as Palestinians are no longer being bombarded. The reason doesn't matter to me. I mean, listen, I'm not going to stop her when she's actively trying to defund Israel's weapons of war. I'm not. Please, by all means, continue. I'm not going to stop you on that. Please. You don't have to be in my camp. I'm not going to defend you. I will, in fact, continue to make fun of you, and you are not my representative. But, never stop your enemy when they're making a mistake, all right? Okay? Please. Enemy of my enemy? Definitely not my friend, but more representatives talking about defunding Israel's weapons of war. Please continue. Please. Okay, 1 second. All right. Now, what does this mean, chat? Does Israel have nuclear? Do they have nuclear yet? She wasn't clear. They've had nuclear weapons for decades. Yes, absolutely. That's sarcasm? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's sarcasm. Maybe I didn't read the sarcasm.